have a separate chapter on gender mainstreaming. The Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, initiated it during NDA-1 under the stewardship of Prime Minister Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee, has had a massive impact in improvement of access to rural population. It is time to reaffirm our commitment to a better and more energetic PMGSY under the dynamic leadership of Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. I propose to provide a sum of rupees 14,389 crores for this purpose. Manrega. The government is committed to provide wage and self-employment opportunities in rural areas. However, wage employment would be provided under the Manrega through works that are more productive, asset-creating, substantially linked to agriculture and allied activities. Ajivika, the National Rural Livelihood Mission, aims at eliminating rural poverty through sustainable livelihood options. Under this mission, women SCGs are provided bank loans at 4% to prompt repayment in 150 districts and 7% in other districts. I propose to extend the provisions of bank loan for women SCGs at 4% in another 100 districts. I propose to set up a startup village entrepreneurship scheme for encouraging rural youth to take up local entrepreneurship programs. I am providing a sum of rupees 100 crores for this. The amount is there, don't worry. It's maintained.
Not mentioned that, that's why I'm asking.
Never happened.
The rural housing scheme has benefited a large percentage of rural population who have availed credit through rural housing programs. I propose to increase the allocation for 2014-15 to 8,000 crores for National Housing Banking Program with a view to expand and continue to support rural housing in the country. To give an added impetus to the watershed program in the country, I propose to start a new program called the Nirnanchal with an initial outlay of rupees 2,142 crores in the current financial year. Backward Region Grant Fund is being implemented in 272 backward districts in 27 states to fill the critical gap in the development of basic infrastructure facilities for capacity building of panchayats, gram sabhas in the backward areas. It is proposed to restructure the BRGF to address inter-district inequalities to ensure the backward sub-district units within the state get adequate support. Many of our drinking water resources have excess impurities like fluoride, arsenic, and man-made contaminations due to untreated sewerage, industrial effluents, and leaching of pesticides and fertilizers. It is proposed to earmark rupees 3,600 crores under National Rural Drinking Water Program for providing a safe drinking water. Approximately 20,000 habitations affected with arsenic, fluoride, heavy toxic elements, pesticides, fertilizers through community water purification plants in the next 3 years. To move towards health for all, two key initiatives, that is the free drug service and free diagnostic service, would be taken up on a priority. In order to achieve a universal access to each quality diagnosis and treatment to TB patients, 2 National Institutes of Aging will be set up at the AIIMS, New Delhi and Madras Medical College, Chennai. A national level research with referral institute for higher dental studies would also be set up in one of the existing dental institutions. It is a matter of great satisfaction that all the 6 new AIIMS at Jodhpur, Bhopal, Patna, Rishikesh, Bhubaneswar and Raipur, which were a part of the Pradhan Mantri Swasthya Suraksha Yojana, have become functional. A plan to set up 4 more AIIMS institutions in Andhra Pradesh, West Bengal, Vidarbha in Maharashtra and Purvanchal is under consideration. I propose to set up rupees 500 crore for this. Presently, please wait for the next sentence. आगे आ रहा है. Please. Presently,
प्लीज पूरा सुनिए.
presently, please wait for the next sentence. Government medical colleges have been approved. It is proposed to add 12 more government medical colleges. In addition, dental facilities will also be provided in these hospitals. All other states which are making a request will be considered under this. For the first time, and let me add that in the coming years of the government, each year in the states where there is no AIIMS, we'll be adding it to make sure that there is an AIIMS created in every state in the country. For the first time, the central government will provide central assistance to strengthen the state drug regulatory and food regulatory systems by creating new drug testing laboratories and strengthening 31 existing laboratories. In keeping with the government's focus on improving affordable healthcare and to augment transfer of technology for better healthcare facilities in rural India, 15 model rural health research centers will be set up, which will take up the research on local health issues concerning rural population. Elementary education is one of the major priorities of the government. There would be a residual gap in providing minimal school infrastructure facilities. Government would strive to provide toilets and drinking waters in all the girls' schools in the first place. An amount of rupees 28,635 crore is being funded by the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan and 4,966 crores by the Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan. A school assessment program is being initiated at a cost of rupees 30 crores. To infuse the training tools and innovative teachers, the Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya New Teachers Training Program is being launched. I am setting aside a sum of rupees 500 crores for this. To take advantage of the reach of the IT, I propose to allocate a sum of rupees 100 crores for setting up a virtuous classroom as communication-linked interface for cultivating knowledge on the online courses. The country needs a large number of courses of higher learning, which are of the world class. I propose to set up the Loknayak Jayaprakash Narayan National Center for Excellence in Humanities in Madhya Pradesh. I also intend to set up 5 more IITs in Jammu, Chhattisgarh, Goa, Andhra Pradesh and Kerala. 5 more IIMs would be set up in the state of Himachal Pradesh, Punjab, Bihar, Orissa and Maharashtra. I propose to set up an amount of rupees 500 crores for this. Government also proposes to ease and simplify norms and facilitate education of loans for higher education. There have been eminent need to further bridge and divide the human-digital divide between the haves and the have-nots. For this, it is proposed to launch a pan-India program, Digital India. This would ensure broadband connectivity at village level, improved access to services through IT-enabled programs, greater transparency in government processes, and increased indigenous production of the IT hardware and software of exports and improved domestic availability. Special focus will be on supporting software product startups, a national rural internet and technology mission service in villages and trainings in IT and e-Kranti for the government services delivery and governance scheme is also proposed. I have provided a sum of rupees 500 crores for this purpose. A program for promoting good governance would be launched. I propose to set up a sum of rupees 100 crores for this purpose. So far, around 400 permissions for setting up community radio stations have been issued. To encourage the growth of this sector, a new plan is being taken up with an allocation of rupees 100 crores. The scheme would support 600 new and existing community radio stations. The Film and Television Institute Pune, the Satyajit Ray Film and Television Institute Calcutta are proposed to be accorded the status of institutes of national importance and national centers of excellence in animation, gaming, special efforts will be set up. Urban renewal. It is time that our cities and towns undergo urban renewal and become better places to live in. While developing housing and other infrastructure, both physical and economic, which can have various local variations, 4 fundamental activities must underpin such development. These are there are provision for safe drinking water and sewerage management, use of recycled water for growing organic fruits and vegetables, solid waste management and digital connectivity. It will be the vision of the government that at least 500 such habitants must be provided support while harnessing private capital and expertise through PPPs to renew their infrastructure services in the next 10 years. Pooled municipal debt obligations. This facility was set up in 2006 with participation of several banks to promote finance infrastructure projects in urban areas on the shared risk basis. Present corpus of this facility is rupees 5,000 crore. The government has a major focus of providing good infrastructure, including public transport, waste disposal, sewage treatment, and safe drinking water in urban areas. In keeping with the Honorable Prime Minister's vision of urban areas, it is proposed to enlarge 50,000 crores with extension of facility by 5 years to March 31, 2019. Urban metro projects have proved to be very useful in decongesting large cities. For 2 million plus cities, planning of the metro phase must begin now. Government will encourage development of metro rail system, including the light rail system in the PPP mode, which will be supported by the central government through the VGF. In the current financial year, I propose to set aside a scheme of rupees 100 crores for the metro projects of Lucknow and Ahmedabad. The government is committed to an endeavor to have housing for all by 2022. For this purpose, I intend to extend the additional tax incentive on housing loans to encourage people, especially the young, to own their houses. I proposed of setting up a mission of low-cost affordable housing, which will be anchored by the National Housing Bank schemes, which will be involved to incentivize the development of low-cost affordable housing. I propose to allocate this a sum of rupees 4,000 crores for the National Housing Bank in view to increase the flow of cheaper credit and affordable housing for the urban poor, economically weaker section, LIG segment. I have already outlined some other incentives, such as easier flow of FDI in this sector. Government is willing to examine other suggestions which would spurt growth in this sector. I also propose to add an inclusion of a slum development in the list of corporate social responsibility activities to encourage private sector to contribute more towards this activity. A national program in the mission mode is urgently required to halt the deteriorating malnutrition situation in the country. At present, interventions are not adequate. A comprehensive strategy, including detailed methodology, costing timelines, and monitoring targets will be in place within 6 months. Minorities. A program for the upgradation of skills and training in the ancestral arts for development of minorities, called the Upgrading of Traditional Arts and Resource Goods, would be launched to preserve the traditional arts crafts with a rich heritage. An additional amount of rupees 100 crores for modernization of madrasas has been provided in the Department of School Education. Farming is an activity which contributes to nearly 1/6 of our national